Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Welcome back to an episode of Style Your Dreams. This is Keri, and I'm so happy to be with you today. I have a great conversation for you. And today I want to dive into one of my favorite topics, which is energy healing. But we're going to do it in a way that's real, that's grounded, and really easy to understand. So many people hear the words energy healing and they immediately think it's something mystical or something far out there. But the truth is, it's incredibly natural. Energy healing is simply the process of bringing your system or your body or your emotions or your mind back into flow. So think of it like this. When your energy is aligned, life just clicks. Everything goes your way. You start noticing synchronicities everywhere. Everything's just easy, right? Opportunities show up. You feel lighter. You feel more magnetic, more you. But when energy's off, or when your energy's off, you start to feel resistance. Things feel harder, and your inner light dims a little bit. So, in this episode, I'm going to break down what energy healing actually is, how it works, and how you can start shifting your own energy today, even in the simplest of ways. Because when you can realign your frequency, everything in your life changes. So, let's dive in. So, I want to start with some of you are new to me, some of you have known me forever. And either way, there's parts of me that you may not know. So let's just start there. So I have been participating in energy healing in some way or another for, I don't know, since my 20s, maybe 19. So for a very long time. So over 30 years. I think about 30 years ago, I saw my first shaman. And you might wonder, like, how does that even happen? Well, back then, I was having like lots of strange experiences. Life wasn't flowing. I felt like I was off course. And I had some friends that they were very into energy work and they introduced me to this shaman. And that was pretty deep experience. And they noticed things that were off in my energy field. So as we go through life, from a baby up until however old you are and everywhere in between, as you go through life, you pick things up. And it's not like you can shower it off, right? So you pick things up energetically. And if you don't know that they're with you, they start to impact you. They start to impact the way you view yourself, the way that you view life, the way that you view others. And it's happening to every single human being, every single day, every single year. But we're not aware of it because it's not something that's, I don't know, it's not talked about a lot. And so unless you notice it, you just think that's the way life is now. And most people are just, I don't know, dealing with life, surviving life, trying to get by, doing the best that they can, that they don't notice these subtle changes in life that are happening year after year, day after day. So I was very intrigued by it. So I went to this shaman who ended up clearing, oh my gosh, years and years and years of energy off of me, a lot of trauma from my childhood. And instantly I felt lighter and I was happier. And I started choosing a new path in life. So I was sold. I was into energy healing. And so then fast forward, nothing, I didn't do much for many years. And then I got back into it, but in a different way, like by reading books and learning about energy is in your thoughts. So I did a deep dive, a lot of deep work, and studied people like Anthony Robbins or Neil Donald Walsh or some of my favorite authors. And I did a deep dive. and learned that your thoughts, your mental state, everything is energy, and everything will determine how your life goes. So I started studying it and applying it in my life, and I was very intrigued by it and very committed to living a quote unquote positive, happy life. But I think most people are committed to that on some level or another. So, but I really started studying it, implementing it in my life. Then I started studying how the brain works, which also has a lot to do with energy. Anyways, over the years, you could say since my first experience, I've done a lot of work in the energy field. And I've spent my life cleaning my energy, if you will, just like I would take a shower. I notice when my energy's off and I shift it. And now I actually heal others through energy work. And my mom was a healer through energy work. And I have since my 20s have now seen, I don't know, if I'm guessing, probably close to 100 energy healers in my lifetime. I know it seems like a lot. Maybe it's like 70. It just seems like a lot. I've seen a lot of different people and I've participated in a lot of different modalities. Now, I'm going to stop right there for a minute because at this point, some of you are thinking she participates in witchcraft. She is into those. So there are things of energy that are dark magic, voodoo dolls. I remember when I was young, I would think of that like, ooh, you know how to use voodoo dolls and put curses on people. No, I don't participate in any of that. Never have, never will. That's not my vibe. If you've been here for a minute, you know that. My vibe is how do you make your life the best ever? Because this is your one precious life on this earth. So, how do you raise your vibration and create magic everywhere you go? Because you get to live this amazing life. And so, why not create it to be the best that you possibly can? So, there's a lot of different things nowadays that you can do to shift your energy. So, I'm going to talk about a few of the, I don't know, more mainstream ones that people are finding out about. It's more common that you know someone who has participated in one or more of these. So one is crystals. So crystals are becoming more and more popular. And crystals, just like us, they carry a frequency and they have the ability to heal different aspects of your physical body or your mental state or your emotional state. And yeah, so crystals are great. And a lot of people are now using crystals. I know every time I'm in Sedona, all the crystal stores are like packed and people are exploring crystals and what they want to do and crystal grids. And I love it. So I love crystals for myself. They're all over my home. But I also love that that's a way that's like a safe, beautiful entry point for people to learn about energy. By the way, I also just want to point out that scientists talk about that everything is energy. So this isn't like a woo-woo thing. This is reality. This is how this human existence is. Everything is energy. Okay, so another great entry point that's very popular right now is breathing, breath work. So you can go to a practitioner, you could go on YouTube and do different breathwork techniques, which the great thing in my view of breathwork is it has you calm your nervous system, get connected to your higher self. There's so much good that comes from it. It can heal your body from the inside. It can heal your mind. So breathwork is an awesome, again, a great entry point for people to get into energy. One of my favorites also is that if you've ever heard of emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, I have loved this for many, many, many years. In fact, I talk about it in a few of my courses, which is how do you get freedom when you don't know what's going on? So have you ever, well, let's back up for a minute and talk about how you would notice energy. So have you ever walked into a room? I know you probably have, or you will today. Have you ever walked into a room and it doesn't make you feel good? Like, oh, if you're tapped into your emotions, if you just breathe for a minute, you're like, this does not feel good. I do not want to be here. And you think like, I'm just in a bad mood, or I don't feel good, or I have more things to be doing. Whatever you tell yourself, we all tell ourselves different things about that. But there's something off in the energy that isn't matching your energy in that moment, because everything's a vibration and a frequency and an energy. So if you're in an environment that doesn't match your frequency, it'll be like oil and water. Or oil and water, oil and vinegar, and it'll rub, right? It won't connect, so it won't feel good. And then you've also been places and the energy has felt really amazing. One thing that came to mind was anytime my daughter gives me a hug, like, oh my gosh, it feels like the best feeling on the planet. And I'm sure you have someone like that, or you have. And when you are hugging that person, or when you see them, it brightens your mood and your energy level goes up, and you're like, this is the best. You could be having a bad day, but that person's around and instantly you feel different. That's a shift in your energy as well. So there are things that make us feel not good and things that make us feel good. Oh, I think this podcast is really timely now that I'm thinking about this, because Thanksgiving's coming up. Christmas is coming up, or the holidays are coming up, whatever holidays you participate in. And I feel like the holidays are a very challenging time for most people, because in most family dynamics, there are past traumas. There are past, I don't know. Yeah, traumas is probably the best way to say it, or past arguments, past experiences that can tend to bring you down. There's usually arguments or resentments or something. It's usually not a clean, happy, high vibe space to go into, if you feel me. And if your family's not like that, or where you participate in is not like that, good for you. Like, you should be really, really, really grateful for that. Okay. So, where was I going with this? Oh, so there's a lot of different things that you can do when you notice, ooh, this doesn't feel good. And now I'm going to go back to the emotional freedom technique. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can, I have some favorite people that you can Google on YouTube. One is Brad Yates. I love his tapping. Whenever I'm in a funk, or I want to release some, I feel like I'm not in alignment, I want to release some negative emotion, something like that, I love tapping along with he has a video on anything. And there's some other ones I enjoy as well. But you start by tapping on the side of your hand, and you tap on these pressure points on your hand and your body and your head. And once you tap, even just tapping on them shifts my nervous system. Like, I get in a calm state. If you're watching, I'm still doing it because it feels so good. But then you can say a series of things which retrains your brain. Oh, I also love Nick Ortner. Is that how you say his name? I love him and his family. They have the tapping solution. I love them. So there's lots of different ways that you can use energy. So it looks like I'm just tapping my hand, but I'm moving energy within my body, retraining my brain. So that's another thing that makes you feel good. So energy doesn't have to be some crazy woo-woo, ooh, what are you doing kind of thing. It could be different practices you take on daily when you notice you're stressed, when you notice you're upset, when you notice you're not in alignment, you're not in flow. Energy healing, in all the ways that I'm talking about it, is a way to get back in flow. It's a way to release what isn't working for you and create something new. If you've heard of chakras, which I feel like that's also a mainstream conversation these days, but chakras are 7 energy centers on your body, and they they can get clogged, just like we can get dirty on the outside. I think it's important to clear your chakras often because emotional things can get stuck in them, and then we wonder why we're not open, available, attracting what we want, etc. And it could be something as simple as your chakras need to be cleaned. So funny story. I was in Sedona. I go there often, so I can't remember when, but there was this building, and there's a lot of people that are new to energy that are going to Sedona, which is so awesome. And they're exploring, they're figuring out, like, ooh, I want to go on a UFO tour. I want to go to the crystal shop. I want to go do a sound healing. I want to go do whatever. Anyways, I was driving and I saw this huge sign in this window, and they do energy healing, which there's so many energy healers there. And it said, come in and let us test your chakras to see if you have any blocks. And I started laughing hysterically because if you know anything about energy, there are always blocks. So I guarantee you, if you go in that store or you go to anyone to have your chakras tested to see if you have any blocks, the answer is a resounding yes. I clear my chakras daily. And there's always blocks because there's always trapped emotions that get stored in your body. It could be a look from someone on the street. It could be someone doesn't like the way you drove. It could be a million things happen daily. And what you don't realize is those are energy exchanges. If someone gives you a dirty look, if someone is irritated by you because you cut in line, if someone doesn't like the coat you have on, I don't know, people do crazy things. There's an energy exchange, and sometimes it gets trapped in us. So it's very useful to have your chakras cleared out. Now, there's probably ways that you can do that yourself, or just find an expert. Oh, that's another thing that's it's becoming more and more mainstream. I feel like people have heard of Reiki healers, which I've been certified as a master Reiki not instructor, but practitioner. And to be honest with you, Reiki is fantastic and I love it. And after learning to do Reiki, I came across another modality. So the modality that I choose to use most of the time is called geo-love healing. And it's the use, to simplify this, it's the use of sacred geometry. So sacred geometry has been around since the beginning of time. I mean, Jesus used it, the Egyptians used it, back from the beginning of time. There has been sacred geometry. And if you do a Google search, you can find different sacred geometry symbols. And so I use this healing technique that utilizes sacred geometry. And one of the biggest things I absolutely love about it is it's not me doing the work. I allow the angels and the archangels and God and Jesus to do the work through me, which I love, because then I'm not the one responsible. I'm just the facilitator. I allow them to use me as a vessel to work on people. And it's been, oh my gosh, I just received a bunch of testimonials and reviews, and it was so humbling. And I was so filled with love and gratitude, because the difference that these healings make on changing people's lives is just amazing. And I'm just grateful to be able to use it as a tool to help people, because that's what I really want to do, is shift people's lives and make them miraculous. And so if you can shift the energy that is within you, around you, you have the ability to get back into the flow and have the most miraculous life. And but what I will say is energy healing is not usually a one and done thing. And I really do, you can go as, I don't know, low level or as high level as you want to, as with anything in life. So for me, just like I brush my teeth twice a day and I shower almost every day, there are sometimes I don't, but almost every single day. And the things that I do every single day, I think it's important to check in on my energy, because when I don't, then life doesn't go the way I want it to go. But when I do, I am back in the flow. Things miraculously are attracted to me. I become a magnet. And it's awesome. So, one way that I know that I'm in the flow, if this helps you, is I notice the synchronicities of life. So, I believe, this is my belief, that your guides, yes, you have guides and angels, and if you believe in a power greater than you, they're always watching over you. They're always with you, and they'll send you little nudges or little nudges. They'll send you lots of things to show you you're on the right path. So one easy thing that comes to me a lot is numbers. So I'll see like 222 on the clock or 333 or 555. They're called angel numbers. And I'll see those frequently, or 1111. I'll also see people I haven't seen in a while. If I have a thought about them, they show up or they call me. Or there'll be words. One of my friends gets this, words on license plates that have meaning for her. So there's a lot of different things. If you start being aware of your surroundings, those are little messages saying, yeah, we're with you and you're on the right path. Or that song comes on the radio right when you needed to hear it and it has a message, or it reminds you of your loved one that has passed. Those are all like make my heart sing. In fact, I know one way that I know that my energy's off is when those aren't happening. So when those aren't happening, I know it's time to shift something. If I go a day without having a synchronicity or having something like that happen to me, I'm checking in on my energy. Excuse me. I'm checking in on my energy field. I'm shifting it and I'm getting back to my truest state again. So, an energy healing, I know some people are intrigued by it. I wanted to bring more awareness to it, especially from my listeners, because everything I do involves energy healing now. So, since I have been doing energy healing, I'm even when I'm in a situation where someone's troubled and I know they can't get out of it, I can just send them love energetically. And so why would I do that? Because I just want their life to be a little bit easier or a lot easier. So sometimes I'll just send love to the person. Sometimes I do that when I'm in an argument with someone and I don't like them very much. I send love to them because it eases the tension in what's happening and we can see eye to eye again, which I love that. I love that about sending love. So I like to, if you don't know this, in my courses online, they all have energy infused into them. So it's impacting your mindset and your energy. So it's impacting you on two different levels, which I love. It's that whole mind-body connection. When those can be in harmony, life is miraculous. And that's what I'm all about. How do you make your life miraculous? Simply the best, better than all the rest. If you don't have kids, my daughter used to watch that show when she was really little. It was called Miraculous. It was a cute little show. Anyways, I digress. And then you can also just get energy healing from people, which can free up those blocked energy. And oh, by the way, physical ailments in your body is blocked energy, trapped energy as well. So, if you're doing the doctor route, you're doing all of this physical therapy, you're doing all of those things, which is awesome, and it's not moving. It could just be stuck and trapped energy that needs to move, and you might want to hire an energy healer to add into what you're currently doing. Okay, so that's kind of all about how I use it daily. I use it for myself. I use it for everyone around me. And, I'm so excited to share something with you. So so first of all, let's just take a deep breath because I've shared a lot. And I hope that you feel that this conversation's settling in and you want to notice what's already shifting inside of you just from this conversation. Or maybe you're feeling a sense of lightness or a sense of possibility. And if you are, from this conversation, that's your energy coming back into flow. And that's what we want. Remember, you were never broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You just got a little out of alignment and energy stopped flowing in areas that you want it to flow in. And here's the great news is that in any moment, you can return to your natural frequency, to a high vibe frequency so that you can get what you want. Now, I recently created something which I'm so excited to share with you. And I created it I created it for myself, which is where most of my courses come from, is creating it for myself, or I caused the breakthrough and I wanted to give it away, so then I created it for you. But I have been obsessed, I don't know, for 6 months, obsessed about jumping timelines and connecting with the highest version of myself, the one who has everything I ever wanted. I know that she's with me. And I kept wanting to connect. Other people would call what I'm talking about like a quantum leap. Like, how do you create a quantum leap in your life? So here I am today. Take like where I am 2 years from now, combine them together, and collapse timelines and create that quantum leap. So I've been very, very obsessed with that. And one day it hit me. And so I created this super high vibe walking meditation where you get to connect with that woman who already is you. So that high frequency woman who's living 2 or 3 years from now with all of your dreams fulfilled, you get to connect with her and become her. And it's a 20-minute, it's free, by the way, because I want to impact as many women as I can to live their best lives and connect with that highest frequency. And it's not just a meditation. I call it a walking meditation. It's actually called Be Your Biggest Self Now. And it's not just a meditation, it's an activation. So as you walk, you literally feel yourself stepping into the woman, the version of you who already has it all, who has the confidence, who is magnetic, who's unstoppable. So the version of you who walks taller, who speaks clearer and vibrates at double the frequency of love, because that's what this activation does, is it vibrates you at the highest frequency possible. And if you want all of that, then download this free walking meditation. You can grab it right now. It's I'll put it in the show notes, but it's IamKeriBlair.com, which is my website, and then /walking. And then it downloads instantly. You pop in your earbuds, head outside, and together we're going to raise your frequency. And every time you forget who you are, you forget that version of you, this walking meditation will meet you where you are. So if you're having a rough time in life, it'll meet you there and bring you up. If you're doing great, but you really have huge goals you want to accomplish, it will meet you there and bring you up. If you're a low vibe, you're not sure what's going on, it will meet you there and bring you up. Wherever you are, I've had many, many women now participate in this. And I always love the text messages and the emails I get. People are, I have some people that I know that are listening to this twice a day and their life is unrecognizable because of it. And that makes my heart sing. So I personally listen to this every single day. I think it's the most magical self-love practice that I could possibly ever have, because I get to connect with my highest version of myself on a daily basis and bring her inside of me so that we can live in harmony together. So I hope you download that. I hope you take advantage of it. If you do, I would love to hear your results. And I hope this sheds a little light on how to get into the frequency of flow, what energy healing really is, how to use energy to transform your life. And if you have any questions, if you need a healing, if you want to reach out for whatever reason, as always, I'm always here. Reach out. I love you. I hope you have the best, most magical day ever. And I can't wait to connect soon. See ya.